newly renamed Infineon Raceway here in Sonoma, California is host to the 17th race of the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Coming in today, third in points is Jeff Burton, who starts on the pole with Jerry Nadeau to his outside. There are 4 road course ringers today, including Dorsey Schrader, making his first point start of the year in a second car from Melling Hamilton Racing. All of these extra cars in the field meant some usuals had to go home, including familiar road course race Robbie Gordon.
And we're hearing him fail to qualify may have been the last straw in a relationship between him and PBI Motorsports.
We'll have to see what happens with Robbie Gordon in the weeks to come, but first we have a race today. Jeff Burton and Jerry Nadeau lead them to the green flag and they head up the hill. Field tightening up single file as they go up the hill for the first time. Nadeau gets around Jason Leffler, and oh, look at that, Burton off track a little bit, and that is going to allow Nadeau, as they come downhill, to get a lead.
Yeah, great start for Nadeau there. Now he goes off the track a little bit too as they head up here for this very tight turn at the far end of the racetrack.
Leaders get through cleanly, some trouble behind them, several cars around, Johnson, Bush, Biffle, and others. Meanwhile, look at this, the 43 car of Todd Bodine has gotten all the way up to 4th place after making it through that melee on the far end of the racetrack, as it's all Jerry Nadeau out front right now.
Bodine's looking for more. It looked like he was looking the inside of Jason Leffler for that 3rd spot. Things seem to have calmed down a bit, these front 5 here.
Nadeau, putting on an absolute clinic, has driven away further from Jeff Burton, and look who he has caught to lap. Steve Park, who won this race last year.
Yeah, Park was involved in a small altercation. You see his back end's all torn up at the far end of the racetrack. So, it's shocking to see him getting lapped here as Nadeau continues to just absolutely dominate there. And there he goes around the outside, puts Park a lap down.
And as that occurs, we do see Burton there in the back of the frame, keeping somewhat decent pace with Nadeau. Meanwhile, Todd Bodine has fallen back to 6th place, but that's still a very impressive run for that Petty Enterprises Dodge. He is currently the highest running Dodge in the field right now. You see Kenny Irwin in 7th behind him.
Speaking of impressive underdog Dodges, take a look at this. Ted Musgrave in the 7th car running in the 8th position. You see behind him my boy Casey Outwood having a nice run today too in 9th.
One driver doing a little worse than we expected, though, is Ron Fellows in that 81 car. You see him running there behind Ryan Newman. Has not really been a factor today, well outside the top 10. So the road course ace. And coming to the white flag here, Jerry Nadeau has not won a road course race in the Winston Cup Series before, but his road course prowess has long been known to us.
Yeah, he certainly got a knack for these types of racetracks. You see, he put 2000 champion Bobby Labonte a lap down there. You see Jeff Burton there is holding on to 2nd place. We believe that this will vault him over his teammate Mark Martin for the Winston Cup points lead after today, potentially. So he's not going to be too unhappy with that run. And say, look at this, Todd Bodine has held on to the top 10. Man, that's just what that Petty Enterprise team needs as they continue to build. They're having a much better year here in 2002 than they did in the 2001 season.
Yes, that is for sure, Chip. Meanwhile, we see Ron Fellows. Yeah, he's had a rough day, getting impatient there. Spins the 16 of Kevin LePage around. Yeah, he just wants to limp it back. Not the day he's wanted. But I can tell you who did have the day they wanted, Chip. That would be the driver of the 25 car, Jerry Nadeau. As he comes around the final corner here. It's been smooth sailing for him all day here at Infineon Raceway. Coming off the corner, Jerry Nadeau is going to get his 4th career Winston Cup win and first on a road course and first in 2002 here in Sonoma, California.
Yeah, what a great run for Jerry. So, I'm interested to see here the point standings. You look at that, Jeff Burton takes a points lead. Mark Martin falls to 3rd. And defending champion Sterling Marlin there up to 2nd place.
Last week's winner, Jerry Nadeau, has the pole for the Pepsi 400 tonight, but that's not the qualifying storyline we're focused on, is it, Chip?
No, it is not. Bill Elliott missed this race. There were tons of entries. He missed it. His teammate Casey Atwood's going to have to swap into the 91. We're hearing this may be the last straw for the current provisional system after what happened with Rudd at Lowe's as well.
Speaking of implications of D&Qs, Robbie Gordon did lose his ride in the 96 car after failing to make his road course race last week, so Jimmy Spencer takes over that ride tonight.
We also have 5 drivers going for $1 million bonus. Those top 5 from Lowe's.
And Nadu and Kenseth lead them to the green flag. We are racing here at the World Center of Racing.
Good start for Kenseth there on the outside. He's got his, well, not exactly teammate, but they've an alliance there with that DEI car, a 15, a Michael Waltrip. So they're going to get a good run on top. I'd say the other Dale Earnhardt Incorporated car starting up front there. You got the one of Steve Park, and actually the 81's in the race tonight too now. That is not Ron Fellows, is it, Chip?
No, that is John Andretti. He's running all the super speedways for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. This is his first start for them. He missed Talladega back in April. See, 3 wide here at the front, and that's going to allow Kenseth to, is he clear of Nadu to get single file? Not quite as they head into turn 3 for the first time.
You say, you know, we mentioned in the pre-race, Bill, that the 96 car there, that is now Jimmy Spencer in that McDonald's machine. He, of course, won here with McDonald's back in 1996 at Daytona. If we complete this first lap, looks like it's going to be Kenseth, but perhaps not for long.
Yeah, here comes Steve Park on the inside, one of those No Bull 5 contenders. Another No Bull 5 contender we go on board with right now, that's Sterling Marlin, who came in tonight second in the point standings to the man right in front of him there, Jeff Burton.
And now we're going to head down the backstretch. We see, looks like the one car going to go top to bottom, and it's going to clear these guys. Although watch out, teammates Jimmy Johnson and Terry Labonte are coming on the bottom there, passing their other teammate, Jerry Nadu. 300 cars up front right now.
Yeah, where's Jeff Gordon? As you see his protege, Jimmy Johnson, is going to clear just like Park did down the backstretch, coming off the corner here, and he is looking to lead this second lap. While his teammate Labonte and the 21 there of Dave Blaney are in hot pursuit.
Yeah, meanwhile, what can we expect there? Sterling, of course, the first mover there further back all the way on the bottom. Jimmy's holding pretty good.
Johnson continues to lead, although Matt Kenseth has caught back up, and look at this. That 96 car of Jimmy Spencer in his first Winston Cup race since April. He is certainly proving to live up to his nickname tonight, Mr. Excitement. He's bringing lots of excitement right now as he is going for the lead. We go on board on that McDonald's machine.
Yeah, that's probably the furthest out front we had a McDonald's car in a long time. I tell you what, my buddy Grimace has to be jumping up and down right now.
You're friends with Grimace, Chip?
Yeah, I'm great friends with Grimace. Yeah, we love Grimace.
Anyway, back to the race. We see the 96 car. If Chip really is friends with Grimace, he probably is excited right now. It's the McDonald's machine almost out front here at Daytona.
Kenseth did lead that lap, though. We look further back here. So remember again, Casey Atwood is in the 91 car tonight. We look at him. He's made some progress through the field. So he had to start at the back after the driver change. That was supposed to be Robert Presley, but Casey failed to make the show, as did his teammate Billy Elliott, who decided to prioritize Casey. And look at this, McDonald's car up to second place. And here comes our Winston Cup points leader, Jeff Burton, on the bottom with his teammate Greg Biffle in the 97 in tow.
You know, and Biffle is really having a quietly consistent sophomore season, isn't he, Chip?
Yeah, he is. You know, in the top 10 points, hasn't won a race yet, but yeah, very consistent. Roush as a whole, very consistent, but they still have not won a race in 2002, despite having 2 guys in the championship fight.
Somebody who has won a race in 2002, that's that 8 car on the inside. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got his first win of the year a couple weeks ago at Pocono. And here he comes, another 2.5-mile track. Of course, he is the defending winner of the Pepsi 400. He goes top to bottom, goes around the points leader, no problem. The crowd rises to their feet here in Daytona. And, yeah, he's looking for a second consecutive win in the Pepsi 400 and yet another Winston Noble $5 million bonus. A little bit of a breakaway here at the front. Say Earnhardt Jr., Kenseth, Leffler, Martin, the 81 of John Andretti, and look at that behind him, Adam Petty. They have broken away from the rest of the pack. Use some lap traffic to get away.
Yeah, look at this. Jason Leffler going to the inside of Earnhardt Jr. Looks like he's going to try to use this lap car 23 Buckshot Jones as a pick and take the lead here off of turn 2.
What a win that would be for the young rookie. leading here in the closing laps of Daytona. So we look back here, Petty Enterprises and Adam Petty having a great night, and we cannot say enough about John Andretti. As we mentioned earlier, he's running just the restrictor plate races for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and now he's up to third place there as he looks to the inside of Mark Martin there for second in the 81 car.
Meanwhile, our rookie leader, we were saying earlier, Jason Leffler, he's second in the Rookie of the Year standings, been pretty consistent. Kevin Harvick's been a little better, but still, Jason's been pretty consistent. Jimmy Johnson's been flashier, he's won 2 races, but the point system definitely awards consistency. So, Jason, though, could potentially do something flashy now, though. Look at this. John Andretti is going for the lead.
Yeah, Andretti, he lost his ride back in March. He used to drive that 43 for Petty Enterprises. His former teammate Adam Petty is behind him there in the mirror. He's trying to prove he belongs in this series and these limited starts, although his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. is now going to the inside, and you have to imagine that he'll just be a good wingman if Earnhardt Jr. gets out front.
Yes, certainly he'd like to win, but he also wants to get invited back for Talladega, and part of the reason the 81 is here is to build up runner points and to help out those other DEI and Richard Childress cars, so I think he'll play along.
Earnhardt Jr. side by side with his teammate Andretti there. We see Leffler is pulling away a little bit on the outside with help from Martin and Adam Petty. Although here comes Earnhardt Jr., another good run there on the bottom as they head down the backstretch.
And what's Kenseth going to do? He's got in the lines with both those cars. Who's he want to help?
Yeah, I don't know. Adam Petty takes a look there to the inside. And of course, that Petty team really having a good couple of weeks here because his teammate Todd Bodine got a top 10 at Infineon now last week. We look back from the leader Leffler here at the group of cars behind him. Say Mark Martin potentially in position to retake the Winston Cup points lead depending on where his teammate Jeff Burton finishes, or at least eat a big chunk back into that tonight.
Yeah, good run for Mark. Continues to be consistent in one of those Roush cars. Say, look at this, the 81 once again for the lead, and the 3 DEI Childress cars lined up right now, the 8, the 31, and the 81.
Although not for long, is it, Chip? Earnhardt Jr. does pull out of line once again. So he figures not too many cars in this lead pack, not a ton of risk of that. What kind of hay can he make on the bottom there?
Yeah, if there's anybody I don't want to see in the rearview mirror on these plate tracks, it's that 8 car. Of course, his father won here back in February, Daytona 500 winner. And, they're going to use their teammate, Steve Park, as a pick. And, so now it's just the 3 DEI Richard Childress cars set to settle it here. Way to go. Good teamwork there by Steve.
So that puts Andretti out front once again, but perhaps that's a bad thing. The 3 DEI and Richard Childress racing cars here to settle it, coming up on some more lap traffic. The 12 of Jeremy Mayfield, the 92 of Bobby Hamilton. Earnhardt Jr. trying to use them both as a pick. His teammate follows him through. But now that Mayfield is holding both of them up, that's keeping Kenseth in the fight.
Yeah, I don't know what to see. Can Junior go 3 wide around these 2 lap cars and run away with it? Like I said, I think these closing stages, we're going to have that 81 car, but just be a good wingman here. They're coming down here the front stretch. Looks like Mayfield is going to pull out a line. That should be good news for Junior right here.
Mayfield pulls up as they come to 2 to go here at Daytona.
Yeah, that's exactly what Dale Jr. wants to see right now. Of course, we've got a teammate behind him now, too. Andretti's just going to ride the line. And now Kenseth's going to follow him here as they head through turns 1 and 2.
All 3 of those cars in line. They're going to easily get around that lap traffic. And now Dale Earnhardt Jr. is less than 5 miles away from his second victory at the track where his father is the all-time win leader.
Yeah, Junior's certainly looked like his father tonight, and that'd be pretty cool to have an Earnhardt sweep here at Daytona. Dale Sr. in February, Dale Jr. in July.
Though Matt Kenseth appears to have something to say about that as he goes to the inside of John Andretti. Let's see, can he get in line here? Is he going to stay on the bottom? Looks like Kenseth will stay on the bottom as Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes the white flag here at Daytona. Crowd is absolutely electric right now.
Yeah, and meanwhile, it looks like that second group back there have got Leffler, Martin, Harvick, and Adam Petty coming back into view a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be enough time here as Junior comes off of turn 2 for the final time.
Andretti being a great teammate right now to Dale Earnhardt Jr., blocking Kenseth, keeping him behind him.
And that's all Dale Jr. needs right now, although we got to give it to John Andretti. He's had a great drive tonight, and we're excited to see him back at Talladega. And, he'll be eligible for the Noble 5 at Texas. Who knows? Maybe they'll throw that car in the race.
I tell you, though, who's going to win the Noble 5 right now? That's the man out front, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Coming for his second victory at Daytona International Speedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Pepsi 400, the 6th win of his young Winston Cup career.
And I tell you, there's been 6 big ones, and I think he's just getting started.
Jeff Burton does narrowly maintain his Winston Cup points lead over teammate Mark Martin by 6 points. Here we are at Chicagoland Speedway for the second running of the Tropicana 400. Several drivers, including the 2 on the front row, in Muppets cars today, Tony Stewart and Kenny Irwin Jr., but the front row has not been the big focus in qualifying. That has been a new provisional procedure that came into effect today.
Yeah, I think Bill Elliott's D&Q last week put him over the edge, so of course he had Rudd at Lowe's as well. So yeah, let's talk about this, the new provisional procedure. So now the top 30 drivers get in on speed. It used to be top 35 got in on speed. Then it's the 6 highest in 2002 owner points. That's the same as it used to be, although it's position 31 and 36. But then the 6 highest from 2001 owner points also get in.
Then that 43rd position still goes to the most recent past champion or the 7th in owner points in 2001, not in the show. So again, this would have solved some issues, would have gotten Rudd in the field in the 600, would have gotten Bill Elliott in last week because Dale Jarrett would not have needed that Champions Provisional last week that took Elliott out of the show. So it'll certainly be interesting to see what other effects this has, but in general it appears to benefit long-running teams as opposed to newer teams as they get that owner points from last year as well.
Yeah, for sure. Although I tell you who didn't need a provisional, that's these 2 guys on the front row. Let's get ready to go racing here at Chicago. And of course, we got Muppets on the cars. We love Muppets.
Yes, Chip, the man on the hood of that 41 car definitely reminds me a bit of you, Animal.
Yeah, no, I love to drum. Bill, I got to bring my drums in here sometime.
That's not exactly why I was making the comparison, Chip, but you know what, we'll just roll with that.
But yeah, Tony Stewart and Animal having a great day so far. You see Jerry Nadeau had that win a couple weeks ago. And Mark Martin, second Winston Cup points there up for the 3rd position. No problem, though. Tony Stewart is going to lead them out the line here.
Yeah, that 41 car was really making all the headlines at the start of the season, getting those first 2 victories in the first 9 races, but has not done a lot since as they come down the backstretch here for the second time. Meanwhile, it looks like Mark Martin is going to look to the inside out there of Nadeau as they go into turn 3. And Stewart going up the racetrack a little bit here. Nadeau wants the lead here at Chicagoland for the second lap. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get there at the line, too. So Nadeau to the lead. Good job for Jerry. And oh, no, we got smoke coming out of the 41 car. Animal, what'd you do to that thing? Man, this is just heartbreaking for Tony Stewart. Blown engine from second place there, watching this whole field of cars go flying by. Meanwhile, Mark Martin and Terry Labonte have gotten around Jerry Nadeau here, and Mark Martin will lead this 3rd lap.
Man, what a crazy turn of events here. So we got a whole new cast up front now. Martin, Terry Labonte, and then Jeff Burton coming into view. Say also, Jimmy Spencer back for a second week in that 96 car. He's having a good run right now in the top 10. And
Mark Martin still leading here at Chicagoland Speedway. But here comes his manufacturer alliance teammate, the 21 of Dave Blaney. Take it away from him, and looks like Terry Labonte and Rusty Wallace are going to follow him through past Martin as well.
Yeah, how about old Terry out front here at a new racetrack? That's pretty exciting. Also, Dave Blaney, he's good through mile and a half. He got his first career win at Texas back in April, a mile and a half. This is another mile and a half. So the Wood brothers seem to have something going on there right now. How about old Rusty up to 3rd place right now?
Yes, Rusty Wallace and the Terry Labonte still in 2nd place here, getting passed by Rusty Wallace as the 21 there of Blaney continues to lead. What a great battle we have going on for the 2nd position right here at the Chicagoland Speedway. And of course, when we talk about Rusty Wallace, he's on kind of a long winless streak right now, dating back to the 2000 season. Of course, he almost won at Bristol last August. And Penske Racing, a lot of rumors going on around that. They might switch manufacturers for the 2003 season, and they may downsize. There's currently rumors of Jeremy Mayfield moving to a third Evernham car next year. So, yeah, Penske may just be Ryan Newman and Rusty Wallace next year. You see Mark Martin now going back to the inside of Rusty Wallace there, the Viagra car, and head of the Miller Lite and Budweiser cars there for the second position. Three things that Chip should never consume. And Mark Martin, of course, entered today second in Winston Cup points, only 6 behind his teammate Jeff Burton. He also has not won a race since 2000, but he has a bigger prize in mind, the Winston Cup points lead.
Yeah, you know, these Roush boys are really making me question, do you even need to win races in order to win the championship? Because Jeff Burton and Mark Martin are leading the points right now, and they're both winless.
We go on board here with Terry Labonte, still in the third position behind Mark Martin and Dave Blaney, who still leads this race. Although, look who is coming into this battle for the lead, that 96 car of Jimmy Spencer. Of course, McDonald's corporate headquarters is just down the road here in Chicago, so they put extra emphasis on having that 96 car have a good run here today. But look at this, he is going 3 wide. As Wallace got the wall there a little bit off of turn 4. He slows up there. But yeah, look at this. Terry Labonte still trying to hold off both these guys for the second position. And here comes the 96 to the inside. Here comes the 96 to the inside for that second position.
This is exactly what Dave Blaney loves to see, all these guys battling out behind him, although he's got to watch out. Look who's going with the head of steam. It's that's Pepe on the 18 car.
Pepe, but yes, you would be correct, Chip. Another one of the Muppets machines. Bobby Labonte there. You know, Pontiac is yet to win a race here in 2002. Oh no, the 96 of Spencer. We're just talking about what a good run he was having. Gets the wall there. And yeah, here comes Labonte. It looks like it's going to be just a matter of time here before he gets past Blaney and absolutely sails away from this group. We've not seen anybody with this kind of speed throughout this race. Bobby Labonte is driven away from Dave Blaney and the rest of the field. He takes the white flag here at Chicagoland Speedway. We look ahead for the 99 of Jeff Burton. It looks like he will hold on to the points lead. You see the 21 getting through that lap traffic, but there's no way he's going to catch up to Labonte in time. Through turns 3 and 4. Earlier today, we talked about several drivers who could break winless streaks. Bobby Labonte appears to be the man to do it. He comes to the finish line here. Is going to be the second victor at Chicagoland Speedway. Snaps a 47-race winless streak dating back to Martinsville in April of 2001.
And Jeff Burton holds on by 1 point over teammate Mark Martin.
Tony Stewart's going to get his second chance to start from the pole here at New Hampshire after blowing a motor last week. Well, last week's winner, Bobby Labonte, starts to his outside.
Of course, these guys are former teammates. And we do have some cars going home today, too. Again, second week of the new rule for provisionals, including the 81 car Ron Fellows going home, so I'll have to find another track to run one of his 7 starts this year at. That rule generally hurts newer teams like that 81. And speaking of teams it helps, so this 26 car has kind of come back from the dead.
Yes, 26 team of that's Haas Carter Motorsports is back these past 2 weeks. Jeffrey Bodine driving today. They finished 21st in owner points last year, so they're semi-locked into the field. So they figured why not come back, even though they don't have their sponsor Kmart anymore. Discover card on there this week.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be an interesting side effect. See, Tony Stewart takes a green flag here, gets a great jump on Bobby Labonte heading into turns 1 and 2.
See there, Labonte slips in behind Stewart, and here comes Jimmy Johnson to the inside of points leader Jeff Burton there, trying to get that third position as Stewart drives away there from the pack off of turn 4 to complete this first lap.
Look at those 2 Hendrick cars, Jimmy Johnson and teammate Jeff Gordon having a great start there. Speaking of great starts, once again, 96 cars in view. He got a top 10 last week. Maybe he can get another one this week. Really try to keep rebuilding there at PPI Motorsports.
Yeah, jettisoning Robbie Gordon appears to have been the right call over there. chain to... Oh no, peril for our Winston Cup points leader. Jeff Burton is around in front of the field. He appears to get going again without too much damage. Oh no, and the 71 car, Rick Mast, pile drives the back of that 99 car. That could be terminal damage for today's race.
Meanwhile, Tony Stewart's saying, hey, at least it's not me this week.
Yeah, Tony Stewart has put on a great show so far here at Loudon, although he's probably sad that he's going to have to give up that massive lead. So let's take a look at what happened here. So Burton just kind of gets loose there going to turn one, gets hit in the back there, and yeah, appears to get going again, and that 71 just comes flying in, and there he goes into the 42. So Stewart leads them back single file to the restart here with Johnson now in second, although his teammate Jeff Gordon takes a look to the outside there. And they both slide up the racetrack a little bit, heading through turns 1 and 2.
It's a Bobby Lonnie there in the fourth, last week's winner, and
Stewart still leading here at the Magic Mile, but coming up on some lap traffic here, including, watch out, that 71 car, Rick Mast.
Yeah, Rick Mast wins the ARCA Brakes Award of the day here. Speaking of brake issues, what the heck happened with Tony there through turns 1 and 2? He got loose, and Jimmy just went flying around the outside.
Johnson and Gordon both get by, as Johnson now in a perilous spot on the outside of that 71 car. Almost gets hit, as now here comes Gordon to the inside, trying to use that 71 as a pick. He's going to be side by side with his teammate at the line here, and potentially having the advantage going into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Gordon looks ahead, although look at this, he slides up the racetrack a little bit. Now Jimmy slides a little bit, and they're coming up to lap their teammate, Nadu. Who's Nadu going to help out?
Yeah, we'll see. It looks like Johnson could be the beneficiary here as Nadu goes to the inside, kind of in front of Gordon, although that's partially just trying to keep his position, as Johnson looks to the outside of Nadu and sets his sights on Shauna Robinson there.
Yeah, Shauna's had a good few weeks, at least for that team standards, making the races. That's good. She gets kind of loose there in front of the 25 to 24, and that's going to allow Jimmy to pull away here a little bit. And how about this kid, Jimmy Johnson? We didn't really know who he was before this year. He's won 2 races and potentially going to win a third. And speaking of people we're learning more about, Jason Leffler having another good run today up there in the 4th position, passing his teammate Bobby Labonte.
Yeah, and Jason, you know, as we mentioned, you know, he's not been as good as Kevin Harvick, but very consistent, very quiet, not a lot of crashes, and that has put him in second in the rookie points. Well, Jimmy Johnson has just been all over the places, winning races, but also crashing out a lot, as that 26 car back in the field today of Jeffrey Bodine is going to slow him up a little bit and bring him back into the clutches of Stewart and Gordon.
Yeah, Tony's really crept back up in here. Whatever was going on in the car a few laps ago seems to have resolved itself. He's now on a back bumper of that 48 car as Jimmy comes up on Joe Nemechek in that 77 car. Man, what the heck happened to everybody's hoods? Did everybody just start driving like Rick Mast and they lost their hoods or what?
Yeah, I don't know about that, Chip. But, yeah, that 77 car is certainly proving to be an obstacle for the 48 right now. It's allowed the 41 to get all the way to the back bumper, although here comes Johnson with a look to the inside. Not going to make the pass at least yet as we go on board with Stewart, right on the back bumper of that 48 Chevrolet.
Yeah, Jimmy drives in deep there and clears the 77, and that may allow him to drive away from Stewart here a little bit. Got some clean air in front of him now before he gets to Adam Petty in the 45 car there.
Yes, Stewart now cleared the lap car, though, as Gordon is going to have to fight Nemechek now. Let's see what happens. Tony drives it in deep there. Johnson coming up on Petty and Hermie Sadler here, but he gets a good run off the corner there and is going to be a couple car lengths ahead of Stewart as they head into turns 1 and 2 this time.
Yeah, here comes up on the back bumper of Petty. Petty's going to slow him up a little bit here. We go in the helicopter. See, now they're going to be too wide in front of Jimmy Johnson. Petty the inside of the 95 of Hermie Sadler. And then, of course, we got, looks like the 15 of Michael Waltrip as well as the 92 of Bobby Hamilton. Lots of lap cars coming up here.
Johnson goes to the inside of Sadler. Here he goes on the 45 car. Stewart has stuck right magnetically attached almost to that back bumper of the 48 car as they head through turns 1 and 2. Johnson clears Petty. Now he sets his sight on Hamilton.
Yeah, Stewart's really putting up a good fight here through this traffic. We'll have to see here what happens when And Jimmy catches Hamilton and Waltrip. Waltrip gets a little loose there off the corner. That's going to allow Stewart to get to the inside here. Although it looks like Jimmy may be able to use Hamilton as a pick here as they head down through turns 1 and 2 and maybe finally get away from Stewart here. Let's see. They're side by side. But what's going to happen with Hamilton and Michael Waltrip here coming off the corner? Let's see. Still side by side. But let's see what happens here. Turns 3 and 4. Mikey gets a little loose again, and it looks like Jimmy's going to go flying around the outside.
Yes, great run off the corner for Johnson. Gets a little loose once again, though that's going to bring Stewart back into the fray here. Lots of lap cars here. Earnhardt's finally the one that gets loose, and now Johnson has a big gap between himself and Stewart. Several cars.
Yeah, he's got to be thanking Dale for that. Dale basically gift-wrapped him that big lead he's got right now. That's huge for Jimmy. Got that lap car Hamilton between him and Stewart now.
Coming back to the white flag, Tony Stewart has caught back up to Jimmy Johnson, but there's still a lap car between him and the leader. That's that 92 of Hamilton. Jimmy Johnson trying to tie a record that Stewart set, and that is the most wins for a rookie in a season. Tony Stewart won 3 races back in 1999. Jimmy Johnson going for his 3rd victory of 2002 here at New Hampshire. Coming off of turn 4, lap traffic in front of the leader, but it's not going to interfere. Jimmy Johnson is going to get his 3rd career win, become the first driver of 2002 with 3 wins.
Man, that is absolutely impressive. A little more consistency, and he's absolutely Rookie of the Year. Say Jeff Burton's bad day hands the points lead to his teammate Mark Martin. As we see they're going down to points. Leffler, highest rookie in points right now, but Harvick has had better luck, just has failed to qualify for some more races.